call a press conference to express ourselves and to showcase what we are planning to do. Eyo was a unique and distinct person that the people used to call a Kondainu. That is the typical Yoruba language. A Kondainu means a very special person, a unique person. His uniqueness and distinctiveness nature emanated not only from his ways of life, but also the horror that surrounded him while he was alive. From a very little beginning, your name and brand had become a global brand. For us in Iperu, aside from letting the historical narrative be truthfully stated that Iperu is the cradle of Eyo, our primary purpose for this assignment is to use the celebration to showcase the rich cultural heritage of our people and to also drive tourism. That to us is also very, very important. The world has gone beyond just talking about your culture, your tradition. The world has gone to how do you integrate that to tourism? How do you ensure that people come to your community? How do you allow that to trigger economic development in that area? Let the hotels be filled up, let all the eateries be filled up, and let people drive economic growth through that method. So it's not just a matter of wanting to showcase our culture, it's also a matter of linking that to the tourism aspect of our environment. We intend to use this occasion to also try and see how we could take the map of Iperu to the world. The event shall take place on Saturday, 25th of April 2026. That is the last Saturday this month. The venue is Christ Apostolic Grammar School at Iperu, Oyo State. And the chairman for the occasion is Oba Dr. Olusegun Ogunye, the Ojotumoro of Abigi, Waterside. That is also in Oyo State. During this event, we shall recognize some individuals who have played great role in the town's cultural and developmental growth. These are Chief Olu Awotesu, a minister under the government of Alhaji Shehu Shagamu, Alhaji Amusa Taiwo, a one-time chairman of Bushi local government during the regime of Alhaji Kayode Jakobi, Lateef Kayode Jakobi, Dr. Mrs. Joke Shofowora, Chief Olusesan Ogunjembola, Alhaji Kamarudin Ariyo, Mr. Mufutau Oduwaye, Aṣíwájú Ṣẹ́gun Lukman, Yeye Kehinde Oshinawo, and Honorable Wale Oyekoya. To us, we count on the support of the media to help us in progressing this event and to also ensure that as many people as possible get to be aware of this. And that is why we felt that we should have the media time today, because the program will still be taking place next week, Saturday, and then we'll have enjoyed about 2 weeks of media aura within that period. So on that note, we want to appreciate the media team for being available for this occasion. We want to thank you so much for coming from far and near to engage us in this exercise. It is our pleasure and our expectation that this partnership will work for the betterment of both of us, both the committee and also the media team. Once again, we appreciate you all and we thank you for coming. My name again is Omobataro Benga Kalani, the chairman for Eyo Iperu Carnival Committee. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for this wonderful speech. So I'm going to open the floor to media personnel and seats. So if there is any question, please.
I will take my first question from the opening line. That the thing that Eyo is the cradle of the festival. Is there festival. It's Iperu, the creator of Eyo Festival. That's number one. And number two question. Lagos has been at the forefront of organizing Eyo Festival. That's what we are knowing. But now, why is this coming up now in Iperu? Why now?
Yeah, thank you so much. I love those two key questions that you raised. We are conscious by saying Iperu, the cradle of Eyo. Everywhere Eyo has been celebrated, for those who understand history, they know that Lagos does not own Eyo. And Lagos has never claimed to be the owner of Eyo. Lagos is a settling environment for as many tribes as possible. So that is why you find fancy Carnival that is not known to Lagos. It's because of those who migrated to Lagos. The Egungun and all of those issues that you also find around. Eyo had never been claimed to be owned by Lagos. Lagos, yes, we are giving it to them. They popularized it, they made it to become a big ceremony. But go back and do this research, you'll be able to find that Lagos never claimed that they own Eyo. There have been some stories of where it come from. Some people have said Benin, some people have said whatever. But as we speak with you, there is no place that has ever come out to openly claim that they own Eyo. Iperu has only been the only place. And we are not saying it by mouth. We have historical facts to justify that. We have the historical environment where the first Eyo lived in the year 1880 something. And then when I was growing up, I'm over 60. When I was growing up, I knew when we used to go and watch the Eyo ceremony. That was more than 40, 50 years ago. And then so it's never been a controversy that Lagos, that Iperu owns Eyo. I will also take time to, because you also are ambassadors of news to several people. Take time to go and download all the videos of the last Eyo. I don't want to give you some of those materials so that it doesn't look as if I'm giving you materials that will buttress my case. When they say Esorokono, is that Lagos? Is that Lagos? You and I know that is the or what you call Remo. People call it the because of the time. Esorokono is not Yoruba, it's not Lagos language. So if Eyo were to be Lagos, where did the word Esorokono come from?
Well, we have the Eyo Iperu.
That we are still coming back to reconfirm that the tradition of Eyo came in from Ijebu to enter Lagos. So we are not doubting that Lagos made it popular. We are not really giving you facts that Lagos being a settling environment, that several people came with their tradition and Lagos absorbed it and make it to become popular. There are two other things that the normally say when they are doing Eyo. They will say when they are finishing, one Eyo Padà lọ Akeso. Akeso is not Lagos. Iperu Akeso. Iperu Akeso. We are confirmed from anybody who is used to the chants of Eyo. When they are finishing at evening time, Eyo ti Padà lọ Akeso. Akeso is not in Lagos. Akeso is Iperu. Iperu Akeso. Also, when they are also doing this some of their chants, Eyo, Igbawo lo ti Iperu de. Those who grew up with it thought is a normal language. They didn't know that Iperu is a town somewhere. So these are three issues that I mentioned to you. Go back and check those Eyo chants. And these things are not things that I'm putting in their mouth. These are things, the simple thing that says is that you say yes, we go. So we are not here to start banging challenges with people. No. The core has done so well with Eyo. But that doesn't mean that the owners of the Eyo should not lay claim to their right or to be appreciated. It's like when you are talking of, when you go through a road now, if you wait for 5 minutes and you look at 10 cars, you see 20 cars, 8 out of 10. Does that mean that we produce Toyota in Nigeria? Does that mean that you cannot say that Japanese should not say that they own Toyota just because it's popular in Nigeria? That is the same thing. So we are not disproving what Lagos has done. We clap for them. We appreciate them. We celebrate them. They help us to take Eyo to the global thing. But we are just saying, even when you are doing that, get the right fact clear that has a source, origin, and the Iperu is the cradle for you. The second leg is why now? We didn't start celebrating it now. I just told you 50 years ago that I grew up to meet those things. And the places are there. It's something when those facts are there, that's where the first of the league that died. And then those who took over. So it has been our tradition. The only thing is that leaders come, leaders go. People have different understanding and styles to celebrating functions. Some people want to celebrate their birthday and say, I don't want to noise. I'll just stay in my house, let my friends come. Some people who say, look, for whatever reason, don't even announce my birthday. I don't want to celebrate it. Not because I'm not proud of it, but because that is my style. I'd rather celebrate achievements and whatever. You understand? And some people say, oh, every year of my birthday, I must make noise. Different persons and different styles. What has made a difference is that at the point, the town, I won't say they made a mistake, the town pushed me and asked me to come and meet. And I told myself, with all that many of us who have interfaced in the last 15, 20 years, with all that I've been able to achieve in the social world, you cannot hand over your program for me to handle, and I'll put it like a normal amount. I must give you the best shot for myself. I am a lawyer. The power of a lawyer is to be able to speak. A lawyer doesn't hide himself. He comes out to present himself. I'm a marketer, and the marketer is like, take something and let the world know that that's the best thing. I've been a past president, a national president of an institute, a global institute. Institute of Channel Television and Associations of Nigeria, as far back as 2011, 2013, and I was also an international member of that group. So it's now going to be very difficult to now hand over to me, and you expect me to celebrate it just within the Iperu environment. So it was a choice that we needed to like, okay, use all the network that I've got. My vice chairman, Dr. Mrs. Olure, she's the vice second deputy president of Bremer Chamber of Commerce. She's a serial entrepreneur. So you can imagine the kind of team that we have built. You cannot expect people like us to handle your ceremony and operate it as if it's just something that we celebrate at the back end. So with that kind of a team, that is why we are seeing something like this. The previous time that they've never done it, they never had press engagement, and what we told ourselves is that no matter the amount of noise you make in the book, if you don't get to the right places, the press and you're able to push it, you don't be making your noise there. In marketing, they say if you don't publicize yourself, you just be like somebody winking in the dark. Imagine if I said wanted to do press conference in the book, because it's the origin of the place. I'm not too sure whether many of you will be willing to leave Lagos to go. So that's why we said, no, we know the right thing. Take the issue to the center of the media world, which is Lagos. Invite our people to come and listen to our story, and then let people be able to actually know that this is why we're pushing this story. And then the town is blessed to have people like us, and the best we can always do is to push this narrative and let the world get to know. You also see that we are doing a live streaming of business. They are watching us all over the world. So, as a lawyer, it will be very, very difficult for me to come openly and make a statement or make an assertion that are not right. So, for me to say, call the media, let's do a live stream of these issues, I am putting my name and my profession at stake. That I know what I'm doing, I have all of those facts, we verify those facts, and they are not disputable. And I'm just giving you 2-3 examples. That is obviously my mother tongue, and that is not Lagos. In your Sakeso, that is not Lagos. Lagos does not have a song. Okay, we share that video with you when we are through. and then Eyo Iperu. Where would they? Those are Iperu is my town, and we own it. So we are the cradle of Eyo, and we have grown enough to come to the world and see it.
Okay, thank you very much, Omoba. Yes, according to history, some of the research that I have made on the genesis of Eyo, I learned in my research that Eyo, somebody was married from Remo Jebu side, so-called, to a Lagos royal family, and Eyo was given to them as gift. Now, in Lagos, I think the gas of the Eyos that we have are not more than 5. But in Iperu, we have close to 15. Does it mean that everything was not given to Lagos at that time? And the other question is, now that we want the world to know that we are the original owners of Eyo, especially Iperu, because I'm from Remo, I'm from Shagamu, and I'm married to somebody from Iperu. So, what is going to be the collaboration between Lagos and Iperu, which is the real owner of this Eyo, especially for this upcoming festival?
Yeah, thank you so much. Another wonderful point. People have asked severally that now that you are laying claim to what is yours and the Lagos influence and whatever, how do you want to go with it? I've also been very intentional in my statements. Nobody is out to grab anything anymore. It is what is not, people are not proud of, that you don't see people helping you to celebrate. So we are proud, we are happy that we find Lagos go for show, making it Peru, and it's very, very popular. We are only coming to restate the narrative that this is the source of that event. We are open to collaboration, and we have made some moves to many of them. In fact, some of those other people are also going to come to attend that function. There is a woman in town. She is the Olotu Erelu of Iperu. Chief Mrs. Ijale. Chief Mrs. Ijale. She's the Olotu Erelu of Iperu. She's also endowed in Lagos. In fact, she is a matron to about 3 leaders in Lagos. And now she has also taken an leader for herself. And she's encouraging some of those people from Lagos to come to also participate in this exercise. And we also have some of them also that are also coming. You know, for us as a committee, this is the first time that we are pushing to this global level. So we know that as we keep moving on, 2nd year, 3rd year, there will be lots of collaboration. And the point where we're even going through documents, we also saw that they also do in a part of Brazil, in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, we saw those facts because one of our partners, Otumba Leke Ajayi, who is the promoter of the show online. She is of mixed breed, mother from that side, father from Nigeria, and she sent some documents where they are doing, so we have tried to also reach out to as many of them as possible. But we also know in the olden days, people are moving. How did Fati Carnival get to Lagos? It was never part of Lagos. It's the Brazilian people that brought it. So now when they say they are doing it, you see Brazil also participating, and when they also doing Brazil, you see. So we are also open for collaboration. Nobody is already fighting. Culture has gone beyond arguing over some of those issues. We must use it to trigger relationship, trigger harmony, trigger economic development, so that Nigeria can grow beyond oil. So these are some of those things that we are also looking at. Trigger more collaboration, and then see how we could take Eyo Iperu to the world map. So that every year, just that people are going on pilgrimages, they also say, oh, when it comes to Eyo Iperu, even when Lagos will be doing their own, at the point we are hoping that we encourage them to also like, okay, take it off from Iperu, do the first liberation before you do that ceremony. So it's not a matter of a quarrel, it's a big collaboration. And I love that aspect that you have recommended. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I want to ask, because the founder, the festival in Lagos has been known for celebrating icons, individuals who have passed away. And I remember the last year was to celebrate the mother of the current president and Chief Latif Japande. The previous one in 2017, I think it was to celebrate Baba Kosoko, and it has been so. So I want to ask, is the Eyo Remo, I'm not going to pass, so I'm not doing it. Eyo Iperu also celebrated to honor individuals who have passed to the world. Because I had you mention some names, so I don't know if the festival was designed to honor those persons.
You know, there's something that they say in Yoruba. You don't understand Yoruba. Maybe spiritual. Yoruba wa sọ pé àti ṣe bí àkẹsọ láàrin àkẹsọ ò lè ṣe ṣíbà lẹ́nu kan. If they are the owner of the thing, you don't make it to look like you define your narrative. Over time, Lagos turned into celebrating departed persons. You had always been an occasion for ceremony, bringing people together to make them look good. During marriages, used to celebrate. During children's life, for big people, used to celebrate. It's never been in honor of departed souls. Departed souls could be part of what you are looking at. So we are not copying Lagos. We are just saying that, and if you also look at our thing, you say Eyo Iperu Carnival, because the origin of Eyo has been like a carnival, celebrating occasions. So that is what we are going to make sure that we keep making our own Eyo. We are also going to recognize some people, and two sets of people: those that are living and those that are past. Those that are past is because you cannot remember today and forget the past. Otunba Oluwawotesu was a minister under the government of Alhaji Shehu Shagari, and he played a huge role not only in developing the town but also in the area. Because he used his ministerial influence, national influence, to interface with Lagos by making them to keep knowing that Eyo came from. But the facts are also there. We saw some of those documents, pictures of when he went to Lagos to see the Oba, the previous Oba of life at that period. We saw all of those people. So we just said, now that we are doing a mega ceremony, let's recognize him. Then the second person, like I mentioned, is Alhaji Amusa Tayo. He was the first person in the world that ever came to Lagos and took up an elected position. And he became the chairman of the local government when Alhaji Japande was the governor of Lagos. So for someone to have migrated, to have come from Iperu to Lagos and become not appointed, elected, that means that such a person should not be forgotten. So we're also celebrating it. They are just those two. But we have 5 other people. We have 7 other people that are living legends that we also felt we should also use the ceremony to celebrate. So we are not limiting our ceremony to so that's why we're just doing the balancing of the equation.
Based on the past you said about the origin of Eyo and the way Lagos popularized it, my question is now, apart from this press conference, what other efforts are the committee putting in place to make sure that the world hears this truth about this Eyo festival? Because this is the first time I'm hearing that Eyo is not a Lagos festival, and it is in the mind of others like that. So what other effort? Because there is, based on what you say, there is need to let people know that Eyo is not a Lagos festival. So what other efforts are you making towards that?
Well, the primary medium that I know is the media space. Media space. As many as we are here, you have multiplicity of the audience of your different outlets. So if in the evening you find Eko FM, Radio Lagos, and your security are putting it, you can imagine the number of people that will listen to it. At that point, you are going to find several set of people. Some people say you don't know back. Some people say, is that true? Those who say is that true, they will now want to go back and do a further search. You understand? And from there, you are going to find some historians that will say, oh, I never knew this thing was that. Let me deeper into those issues. So we are leveraging on the quantum of audience that your different media outlets have, and that's why we said we can't do that ceremony without calling the media. And Lagos is the cradle of the media. If we were to call 10% of the media in Lagos, this place will not even accommodate us. So, but for the number that our people called, that tells you that we appreciate the power of the media. And like I also said, we are being streamed online, and online takes us to the billions of people all over the world that will be watching these things as we are doing it. So several people, bloggers will take it on, hype it. Some of them will use it for their content to get that publicity. They're also going to get responses on their own. And before you know it, the argument continues. You understand? Again, we are not out to fight. I need to keep saying that. But I don't want us to go and see an headline. Iperu drags and Lagos. No. I know the power of the media. Wanting the top story. We rather prefer Iperu cradle of or any other brown.
There's no way that will not be under that context.
We also know.
So when you say now, Iperu the cradle of Eyo Festival, people in Lagos for sure they ask, like people that don't know what is happening. So it's from all indications now it is controversial for now until proven otherwise.
Well, we had always known that, but it's known on our part. We just have to like, okay, the mellow down that is not
I understand where you're going.
But
To balance the
because at times you cannot don't bring down someone that has helped you to make your story good. So that is why
to give them credit
for what they're doing.
and on the other hand, that's the one from what you say, for them as well to give the credit as the credit of Eyo as well.
Maybe as a form.
I have a question.
No.
First of all, if you look in Lagos state government take it as part of their business. What is the government of your state? What is their interest on this? Number one. Number two, if you want me to come and watch Eyo in Iperu, what am I going to see that is different from Lagos that will attract me to come to Iperu? Thirdly, most of the Eyo Carnival in Lagos always end up in violence. See, there's one that is going on when they just carry gun was shooting people in the community. What is your committee or people in that? What are they putting on ground?
Security
level on that area?
Very wonderful question. I truly love that. And I'll start by saying that for us in Igbo, Eyo is Carnival. It is a location to showcase the richness of the community. So our people had always known that in Iperu, Eyo is not known for crisis, violence, and all of those issues. In fact, it would be very strange to find anybody in your costume in Iperu and using the Opambata to beat people carelessly. We don't do that. We use it to pamper people, especially people that you know.
Yes.
Yes, I just do a bit of the touch. You understand? And then we just do a bit of the touch to let that person know that I know you, I recognize you, and I celebrate you. That's why we say, mo your friend, mo your friend. So how does not come with that negative issue? In fact, when somebody does not wear shoe, when somebody does not wear shoe, in the other area that you are talking of, they will take your pamphlet and beat you mercilessly to remove that shoe. In our home, they would rather use it to say, you know, just to let you know that I am not wearing shoe. You also should not wear. But you not say because you are not wearing, you are wearing, and then use the opamata to beat you negatively. We don't do that, and we don't have that control. But we are also not denying the fact that some people that have been used to the Eyo in this other part of the place that would rather go and use those issues as violence. We don't allow that. So on that basis, we have put in place a massive security. The police, the Amotekun, the SOSAFE, the Iperu security group, and the community neighborhood group, whatever. We have put all of them in place to ensure that. Then for all of the guys that we also have, they also have what they have or not by them. So they will also be online monitoring their people as they are moving on, so that nobody sets out of what is meant to do. If anybody wants to behave instantly, there is already an internal control to ensure that that is not allowed to happen. So on our part, we are very certain that we don't have a culture of violence, and it's never going to happen. But we don't want to also leave chances to modify the police and all of the security in the state. They are going to be around to also ensure that people who use the Eyo to travel to town will not come and take advantage of that to create crisis in the community. But it will not happen. So thank you so much for that. The two questions.
There are other questions.
Sorry,
The government, on the government side,
Well, we have notified the government. Fortunately for us, the government is also from Prince Dapo Abiodun. We have notified the governor. We have also notified the Ministry of Culture and Tourism. We are looking forward to their participation, and we are also expecting that with their influence, we should also be able to have a large ceremony. The last time they did the Ogun 50. He asked for Eyo to participate, so that tells you also that he's mindful of the role of Eyo in the entire thing. Last year November, when we also did like something, when it was the Shivos, we also allowed Eyo to participate effectively. But this is and you know what made this one different is that all of the other times that I've mentioned, they used to make Eyo to be part of other programs, part of Akesonde, part of Isheshede, part of this, part of that. But we said, when we came on board, we said, no, let's redefine that process. If we want Eyo to have a life of his own, then make it to have a distinct day that no other person will share that date with it, and then it will go viral. So that is another reason why we are seeing all of these issues that are now coming up, because it's now going to be a standalone program going forward. Thank you. Your third question before we move to.
different
between
what is used to seeing in Lagos.
See in Lagos that you attract people to come to.
well, I've said it. I just say be akẹ́sọ̀ láàrin akẹ́sọ̀ lè ṣe jẹ́ ìkọ̀kọ̀. We have put in place so much of efforts, actions, activities towards making that day to be unique. Amongst those things that when you step into that community that day, you will see that you have positioned that community to welcome you. What people will say, this is doing business kind of. All the ceremonial places that are essential for the Eyo, they are already on Google. So if you come to a brother and say, oh, they keep mentioning a place called Pakelike. Pakelike was the person that gave you another life when the original Eyo had gone, and that was one that was present over 50 years ago when I used to participate. Yes, sir. So if you Google Pakelike, it will take you the house of the man. It will take you. You also see his burial ground in that place. The family have tried to keep it so that when some of these stories are coming up, who will say, oh, the man that brought it back alive again in the 50s, this is where he lived and this is where he died. If you also press Lugoke, that was when we had the first Eyo lived and died. Google will also take you to that location. Yes, sir. You have all of those ones. Then the river that they said is used in moving, Yemo River. If you press it, Google will take you
So that was the river, the first
You know, in that period, there was nothing like vehicle or whatever. It's either you trek or you join canoe, and you are joining canoe on through that river. So that was the river that they were always using to move to Lagos. So if you Google that also, you also find that one that you can conveniently see. And be able to vision after all of those things.
The last question you answered before this one about government participation. So I want to be specific. Is the governor of the state inviting to this?
It's the most. There is no way we are going to do a program like this that will not start with his own town. We can't take it for granted that. Well, that is what I've always told you. I'm a lawyer, so whatever that I say, it is.
No, you say when you ask, you say that it's from that place does not mean that it's invited, or like you are saying it that it's a chief host. You know, you are dealing with president, so that we don't write off record. To go there, Yodu, we host, will be the chief when we are putting you out of contest. So it's not that you're saying that.
Okay, sorry, sir. As a legal practitioner, we know Lagos has been doing this for years, ceremonious. Can we look into the area of patent, copyright, trademark, so that it does not cause future issues?
Very good one. This issue has come up at some occasions, and what I've always told my team and my technical people behind the scenes is that if you want to wear trousers, you know there are two legs. You can't put the legs in the two at the same time. You take your steps one after another. I also told us that they've always been doing this ceremony in the bed. But this is the first time that a person like me and the quality of my advice were invited to share the ceremony. And that is what has led to this that and live image that we are giving it and the dimensions that we are taking it to. Understand? That is what led us to say, oh, if we are claiming ownership, where are the historical places? Don't just say it by mouth. Give people evidence. And we said, press it, Google it. When you leave our meeting, go there yourself and verify. That means the integrity of a legal person is already being put into the public space for you to confirm those things. It should not be as simple. The chairman said so, but there is no evidence in town to confirm that those places ever existed. We are telling you that the effort we have done to bring that news to the, and when you take something to Google, it's no longer a Nigerian news, it's a world news. When you are streaming a program, the world is watching, and you never can tell one archaeologist somewhere, one geographer somewhere, one historian somewhere that will say this is like they're saying. Let me use it to go and search for information for that. If they don't find it like that, they say, "But the chairman is a lawyer. Why did he do that?" Because I don't use any other thing to it. I use my legal certificate to it. So I will not trade my certificate on the part of culture that have no fundamentals. So I'm confirming this, that those facts are there. So for the issue of patent rights and all of those things, that is the issue. You know, when you keep moving, you go back and then you're asking yourself, what next? But when we talked about wanting to do a press conference, this same question came. Why press conference? And I told myself, by the time I was leaving an insurance company, I was the head of marketing for the entire Nigeria. I know the power of marketing. I cannot do marketing without the press. And that is why people like GDA, people like Madamosi, who have known for more than 20 years. So when it came back to leveraging, those were my first points of call. Look, this is what I want to do. So even though they are not here to represent the fact that I'm saying, but because they have also known me, I said, okay, this one that we have known when he was growing, and we have tested him more than 20 years. If he's calling up for a press on him, there must have been a fact that they want to showcase to the world. So let's go and listen. So the issue of patent and whatever, it's not left for me. I represent the face of the town. And you need to sit down again with the community and say, oh, we got it with this level, this is what we need to do. And at that point, we look at the best thing. Because if we go back to, we are planning to go to university, to put on the calendar and all of those issues. These are the questions they are also going to ask. Give us evidence that you are doing. That will not mean that they will deny Lagos of publicity. But at least, they will come back and say, although popularized in Lagos, but created.
It's just like Oro is celebrated almost everywhere.
So all those things are. So the issue of patenting, when you get to those areas and you need to do it, of course we get to know. But for now, this is we are putting our shots at creating the first mega carnival for Eyo, and that's what we are doing. You are from Remo City, you are from Shagamu. Have you ever had so much of push for Eyo, the way we are doing it? And you might have heard about Eyo.
Well, I've done a documentary 2 years ago for the Eyo in Lagos, where my research, and even in the videos, we mentioned the fact that it originated from, well, we didn't delve into it like that, but we mentioned the fact that it was from Iperu.
It was confirmed.
It was confirmed.
Thank you for that.
Especially my chairman, Mr. Wokarati, Honest, what's the name of it?
It was online.
Online, the man for the Vanguard, Punch, Remo, City News, and the other person. So I want to say thank you on behalf of my chairman, and I pray, because I would like to say further that truly the purpose of this meeting is to showcase our culture to the world. So we want people to know that Iperu is the cradle of Eyo, and we want to honor our heritage, and we want people to celebrate with us. Thank you very much.